Habitat destruction occurs when enough change has happened to an area that it can no longer support the natural wildlife. This change can actually be in many forms, including destruction, fragmentation, and degradation. But no matter how it happens, the plants, animals, and other organisms whose habitat has been destroyed no longer have a home. Habitat fragmentation is the decrease in some or all types of natural habitats in a landscape and the dividing of the landscape into smaller and more isolated pieces. Habitat degradation is the set of processes by which habitat quality is reduced. The carrying capacity is reduced so that populations decline. One cause is the agricultural industry. This is a big business that can be ran by large corporations, and it requires the mass production of foods that are able to be quickly sold for a profit. A lot of land is needed to sustain the world's agricultural needs, which means forests and prairies turn into cropland. Another cause is deforestation. Deforestation is the permanent removal of trees to make room for something besides forest. This can include clearing the land for agricultural or grazing, or using the timber for fuel, construction, or manufacturing. Fires, or forest fires, can burn down and displace inhabitants from their natural habitat. Volcano eruptions can displace and even kill some populations. Climate change and global warming can promote rising sea levels, which can cause flooding, threatening habitats and species, especially coastal animals. Melting ice caps are also a problem, and they can be especially harmful to the polar bear. Urban sprawl is another cause of habitat destruction. Urban sprawl is the spreading of urban development, such as houses and shopping centers, on undeveloped land near a city. Housing developments, roads, offices, parks, strip malls, parking lots, and industrial sites are a few examples of urban sprawl. Lastly, we have pollution. Pollution can come in the form of untreated sewage, mining waste, acid rain, fertilizers, and pesticides. They can end up in rivers, lakes, streams, and forests. Extinction. Habitat destruction is the leading cause of extinction for various species and is the reason that many animals are endangered. Wetlands. The value of estuaries and wetlands has been overlooked by people who have viewed them as only waste areas that could be diked, drained, and filled in for agriculture, urban development, or other more useful purposes. One example is the Kissimmee River project in Florida. Loss of biodiversity. The loss of the variety and abundance of different species. There is an estimated 14,000 to 35,000 species at risk. Pollination. Many plants rely on insects or animals to transfer pollen from flower to flower, which can be reduced by habitat destruction. One group that helps with habitat destruction is the Nature Conservancy. They help protect more than 119 million acres of land, countless miles of rivers and streams, and the world's largest oceans. Working with governments, corporations, local partners, and you, they can protect more nature between today and 2025 than they ever have in history. Each year, more than 32 million acres of the world's forests are lost, which they are trying to help with. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is another group that tries to help with habitat destruction. They administer the Endangered Species Act, working with experts in the scientific community to identify species on the verge of extinction and to build the road to recovery to bring them back. They can serve for future generations as a continued source of sustainable land. They also assist project proponents, planners, and agency personnel in developing plans that conserve, restore, or enhance plant animal species, while accomplishing the objects of a proposed development. People need to become more involved with the knowledge and facts regarding habitat loss. They must be open to learning new solutions and willing to put in effort to help. Some ways to help are raising or donating money to various groups. Plant a variety of native plants in your yard to help bees, insects, and birds. Helping by cleaning up parks and wilderness areas to keep them safe from pollution, or otherwise known as restoration. Cutting down on paper use. Try using all natural fertilizers and stay away from harmful pesticides and herbicides. And lastly, reduce, reuse, and recycle.